A pleasant evening and a warm welcome to Upavahini News live on Channel I. I'm Dunanjali Ananda.
I'm Manoj Shetty-Arachi. A look at the headlines.
President visits Kapitigo to inquire into grievances of drought victims. The President instructs officials to provide dry rations to drought victims with immediate effect. Australia announces tougher security measures. Western Province wins the Men's and Women's Carom Championship of the National Sports Festival.
We begin with local news. President Maithripala Sirisena has instructed relevant officials to implement a program to provide dry rations to the victims of the droughts with immediate effect. The President gave the instructions when he undertook a tour in Kapitigo, Kahatagulla area today. The people of the area informed the President about the grievances they have faced due to the dry weather condition. They requested the President to provide water to them. The President instructed the officials to provide water to the victims of the drought with immediate effect and provide dry rations as well. The President said that the officials will be sent to the villages to inquire their situation and give the solutions appropriately. He added that if there are problems, they will be reported to them accordingly. An army officer will be appointed to every village where problems are witnessed. They will work in collaboration with the people of the villages and the Gram Niladaris. He also ordered the wildlife officials to inquire about the white elephant threat to the villages and provide a redress soon. The President inspected Kudapulia Kulam tank in Kahatagulla. Issuing a message, the Disaster Management Centre said that more than 1 million people in 15 districts have been impacted by dry weather condition. Predominantly, people in Polonnaruwa, Anuradhapura, Putlam, Mannar and Vaunia districts are in greater difficulty due to drought. The Disaster Management Centre has spent more than 40 million rupees for the relief activities that implemented for the victims. Around 200 bowsers have been used to distribute drinking water to the public. The people can lodge complaints regarding relief activities dialing 117. Minister of Disaster Management told National TV that special discussion will be held tomorrow with the relevant officials on providing relief to the victimized people.
The general public says it is hilarious that Basil Rajapaksa is saying that the Hambantota port will be nationalized under a future Rajapaksa administration, though it has been entrusted to China under a cabinet approval at present. The people made the comment by responding to the statement made by Basil Rajapaksa on the Hambantota port. Basil Rajapaksa said that these ports will be nationalized definitely under a government of Mahinda Rajapaksa. Hence, this agreement will surely be scrapped. An approval was granted by the cabinet to a memorandum on the 4th of September 2014 submitted by former President Mahinda Rajapaksa in the capacity of Minister of Ports and Shipping. The cabinet memorandum entrusted duties to a Chinese company to work in partnership on the Hambantota port. Under the then agreement, no financial benefit will be entertained by the Sri Lankan government. The Chinese company was supposed to invest $390 billion. The agreement, which was put forward by Mahinda Rajapaksa, had assigned 65% shares of the port to China for the investment. The amount of borrowings under the commercial loans for the Hambantota port exceeded 193 billion rupees. The Sri Lanka Ports Authority has paid 44,000 million rupees as installments and interest for that loan since 2011. The loan payments amount to 90% of the total profit of the port. As Hambantota Port receives losses over and over, the government has to shoulder a serious burden. The general public has to share the burden. The present government entered into the new agreement under a public-private partnership to minimize the burden on the people and gain a high advantage to the country. As per the agreement, the government will receive $1.12 billion and $600 million for expansion of the port. The agreement, which was signed by Mahinda Rajapaksa in 2014 regarding the Hambantota port, has not resulted in any profit that would increase public coffers. The $390 billion investment was only for the machinery at the port. 65% of the shares of the port were entrusted to China for that amount of investment. Around 1,774 hectares of land near to the port had also been entrusted. The 2017 agreement will bring $1.12 billion directly to the treasury. The additional $600 million investment will also be in favor of the country. The extension of the land block that will be entrusted will also be reduced to 1,151 hectares. As per the agreement put forward by President Maithripala Sirisena, any clause of the agreement is liable to change according to the conditions agreed upon at any stage.
Meanwhile, Minister Mahinda Amaravira also responded to the statement of Basil Rajapaksa while addressing media following a function in Hambantota today. Minister Mahinda Amaravira stated that it will be good if port can be nationalised. The minister said that Basil Rajapaksa evaded the country at the end of the election last time. It is difficult to predict where he will stop after the next election. Basil Rajapaksa is trying to put all in convenience.
One of the major rituals in the Low Country dance tradition, Dha Atta Samniya, was performed last night at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation premises. The program was organized by the SLRC and the Department of Cultural Affairs. Dha Atta Sani ritual is performed basically by Matara and Bentara traditions. The ritual that falls under the Bentara tradition was performed yesterday. It was conducted under the guidance of Professor Lionel Bentarage. Deputy Minister Karunaratna Parnavitana, Chairman of the SLRC, Attorney at Law Ravi Jayawardena, Director General, Attorney at Law Tusira Malavitantri, Director of Cultural Affairs Anusha Gokula, Vice Chancellor of the University of Aesthetic Studies, Professor R.A. Ratna Kaluarachi were present at the event.
459 cases have been filed against the people who have run mosquito breeding places in the Western Province. The places were identified at a 3-day special dengue control program which was carried by the Ministry of Health. 35,000 premises in the province were inspected. The ministry said that dengue threat is high in the provinces of Western, Central, Northwestern, Sabaragamuwa and Southern provinces. The Navy also extended their support to the National Dengue Control Program. Let's Start Ourselves, Join to Eradicate Dengue. Under the program, dengue prevention activities were carried out in 40 schools. Steps have been taken to prevent dengue propagation at Navy camps. The program is implemented under the guidance of Navy Commander Vice Admiral Ravindra Vijay Gunawaratna. Another dengue control program was held at Bangalahen area of Walgama in Gampaha today. The program was led by Community Police Unit of Biagama.
The exhibition, which was organized to mark the 40th anniversary of political transformation in 1977, titled Hatte Hatte Peraliyata Hatalihai, concluded at the Youth Services Council in Maharagama today. It commenced on the 28th of this month. The exhibition consisted of a wide array of stalls from both the private and public institutes. The people were educated on the services of the ministries as well. The aim of the exhibition was to inform the public about the benefits reaped from the open market economic system, which was introduced in 1977. Large crowds flocked to the exhibition today as well.
We momentarily deviate from local news, and this is to bring you up to date on Asian news on Asia in a Minute. The US Air Force says that the country flew 2 B-1B bombers over the Korean peninsula in a show of force after recent North Korean missile tests. 2 militants were gunned down by security forces in an encounter in Pulwama district of Indian Kashmir today. Hit by windstorm and heavy rain, a dorm building of mushroom cultivators collapsed in Shangshu town of Shangshu city of East China's Jiangxi province. China celebrated the 90th anniversary of the Chinese People's Liberation Army with a military parade today. Hundreds of people from all walks of life and across age groups took part in a marathon in India's northern Srinagar city today to spread the message of peace in the valley.
President Maithripala Sirisena, who attended the national religious observation Pichamal Pujava in Anuradhapura, also paid homage at several religious places. The President paid homage at the Sri Mahabodhya in the midst of Pirit chanting by the Venerable Mahasangha. Afterwards, the President was also engaged in religious observances at the Ruwan Valley Mahasaya. He called on Chief Incumbent of the Atamasthana, Venerable Pallegama Srinivas Thera. Thousands of devotees attended the Pichamal Pujava. The President held cordial discussions with the devotees. First Lady Mrs. Jayanthi Sirisena was also present.
The country's largest state-owned retail store chain, Sathosa, commenced its long-awaited high-tech journey recently. Minister Richard Badiuddin stated that step-by-step digital transformation is part of the modernization work of the retail network. While speaking at the launch of promotion event in Colombo, he added that the unity government is committed to protect the consumers of the country. Lanka Sathosa is the largest state-owned retail network of Sri Lanka. Computerizing Sathosa network is part of the huge modernization process being carried out. A CCTV network will also be fixed to reduce losses. Lanka Sathosa also plans to open 8,000 franchise outlets with small and medium-level businesses in the coming years.
Officers of the 5th intake of the General Sir John Kothalaula Defence Academy commemorated 10 war heroes belonging to their intake who made the final sacrifice for the motherland during the war against terrorism. The commemoration was held at the National War Memorial in Battaramulla recently. Following a 2-minute silence, the proceedings of the event got underway and floral wreaths were placed at the memorial in memory of the war heroes. The occasion was attended to by fellow officers, parents and spouses of the fallen military personnel.
The first Kumbul Perahara of the Kandy Yasala Festival paraded last night. The Perahara, which commenced at the auspicious time, joined by the Peraharas of 4 great Devalas, Natha, Vishnu, Katharagama and Patini. The casket was brought by elephant Indiraja. Mian Raja and Burumaraja were also part of the Perahara. The second Kumbul Perahara is being paraded.
Lives of two fishermen, a father and a son, who met with an accident in the sea, were rescued. It is reported that they had been swimming in the sea for more than 15 hours after the accident. The boat had been launched from the fisheries boat harbour in Kalamitia of Hungama at 3 p.m. yesterday. The boat had been capsized due to a mechanical fault. They had informed about the fault through communication equipment. Consequently, two boats had been dispatched to rescue the fishermen.
Welcome back. Now for news from all around the world. And we begin in Australia. The Australian federal government has announced tougher security processes at all major Australian airports after counter-terrorism police had stopped and suspect plot of bringing down an aeroplane. 4 people were arrested in raids across Sydney. Investigators said they had seized materials in the raids that could have been used to make an improvised explosive device. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull said extra security was in place at domestic and international airports. Airlines and airports are urging travellers to limit their baggage and arrive earlier for domestic and international flights as tougher security measures prompt concerns of travel delays across the country. Travellers are being told to arrive 2 hours before domestic flights and 3 hours before international flights. Qantas, Tiger and Virgin Air Australia have also urged passengers to limit the amount of carry-on and checked baggage they bring to reduce delays in screening.
Fashion designer Anita Dongre added an extra bit of glamour to the India Kuthur Week underway in New Delhi as she showcased her nature-inspired Tree of Love collection. The resplendent bridal collection drew inspiration from the Bishnoi tribe living in northwestern Rajasthan state, who over the centuries have nurtured and protected the forests and wildlife. The collection featured embroidered thabads styled with tulu skirts and hand-embroidered tea-length dresses with lehengas in hues of blue, rich maroons, inky black and emerald green.
And we have more foreign news in brief. Zimbabwe's President Robert Mugabe said that there was no one with his political stature who could immediately take over from him. The 93-year-old leader has been in charge in the former British colony since independence in 1980. His health is closely watched by Zimbabweans who fear the country could face chaos if he dies without anointing a successor. Venezuela election begins to elect a new assembly with powers to rewrite the constitution. The opposition is boycotting the vote, which it says is a power grab by President Nicolas Maduro. The government says the Constituent Assembly is the only way to bring peace back to the country after months of violent protests. More than 20,000 people were evacuated from Barcelona's Tomorrowland Unite festival after a fire broke out on the main stage yesterday. The fire was a result of a fireworks show and was extinguished before midnight on Saturday. The festival was taking place in the northern Barcelona. Power firms around the world are being warned about how to spot if they are being targeted by hackers who shut down parts of Ukraine's electricity grid. The warnings have emerged from analysis of the malware used in an attack in Ukraine in December. About 230,000 people were left without power for hours after substations were shut down via implanted malware in Ukraine. The Italian International Balloons Challenge Cup is underway in Umbria, Italy. It is drawing dozens of balloonists from around the world. The ballooning event is the Umbrian Valley stretches over 10 days and features several occasions for the balloonists to socialize, often over local food and wine. The Dark Tower is an upcoming 2017 American film directed and co-written by Nicola Arkel. It is a story based on a gunslinger who quests to protect the Dark Tower, a mythical structure which supports all realities. The film is set to be realized on August 4, 2017 in 3D and 2D by Columbia Pictures.
I see a tower, the man in black, and the gunslinger.
Kill him, for both of us. I do not aim at my hand. He who aims with his hand has forgotten the face of his father. I aim my heart.
The Western Province won the men's and women's Carom Championship for the 43rd National Sports Festival. The Carom tournament was concluded today at the indoor stadium of the Sports Association's department. The events were held under the categories of men's and women's single and double. The championship of single category of men's was won by Nishanta Fernando of the Western Province. The women's championship of the respective event was won by Joseph Roshita of the Western Province. The double category of men's was won by Chamil Kure and Mohammed Saeed of the Western Province. Female event of the same category was won by Chalini Lakmali and Nuantika Sanjivani of the same province. The Western Province was the overall runners-up under the men's category, and the Sabaragama Province was the runners-up under the women's category. Meanwhile, the Colours Night of the Sri Lanka Navy was held at the Admiral Vasantha Karannagud Auditorium of Trincomalee yesterday. The event was presided over by the Navy Chief, Vice Admiral Ravindra Vijayagunaratne. 160 Navy sportsmen and women who marked excellent performances at local and international level between 2014 and 2016 were awarded colours.
Now we bring you several sports news items from foreign sports events. Leonardo Meyer has qualified for the finals of German Open tennis tournament. He beat Federico Del Donis 6-3 and 7-5. Sebastian Vettel of Germany won Hungarian Grand Prix F1 motor race. He defeated Kimi Raikkonen of Finland. Valtteri Bottas won the third place.
World Rally Car rookies Esa-Pekka Lappi and Timo Sanninen will start the final day of the Rally Finland, first and second, with Lappi holding a comfortable lead for Toyota. Jari-Matti Latvala's retirement, while inching away in the rally lead on the second running of Onpoja, left his teammate Lappi facing an untroubled run towards the win on his home World Rally Championship round in only his fourth start in the series' top class. Lappi, WRC2 champion last year and European Rally champion in 2014, has a 49.1 second lead over M-Sport Ford driver Sanninen. Finns still hold a 1-2-3 at home, but Toyota's 1-2 has been disrupted by Sanninen in only his second World Rally Car start, getting ahead of Huyo Haninen by going quickest on Saturday's penultimate stage.
And before we wind up, the weather forecast for you. The Met Department says that showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the southern, Sabaragamuwe, northwestern and western provinces. Several spells of showers will occur in the central province. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in other provinces after 2 p.m. Fairly heavy falls can be expected at some places, particularly in the Kalutara, Galle, Mathura, Ratnapura, Kegol, Trincomalee and Mullaitivu districts. Fairly strong winds about 40 to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected in the southern province. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by lightning activities. And here's the weather forecast for the next 36 hours.
With the weather forecast, we conclude tonight's news bulletin. Together with Dulanjali, wish you a very pleasant night. Good night.
Covering the truth.